And what's good, everybody? Welcome back in here once again to Behind the Arc Basketball for another great game going down. No, it's not a football matchup in this one, but the two teams going at it here. Top of the SEC Conference, 2-0 so far this season, as both of these schools, basically football schools, going to go down tonight here in this one in basketball. Both of these teams receiving votes in the last AP Top 25 poll just outside of the top 25. Florida at number 26. Just barely outside the top 25, and Alabama receiving votes at number 45. They only got 2 votes, though, from this past AP Top 25 poll. But Alabama coming off the W over Tennessee. Impressive victory on Saturday. Got to cover that game. Florida winners. High-scoring affair over LSU, 83-79. Should be a good one tonight between these two teams as we welcome you guys on board out to the stream. Aiden here. What's good, brother? How about West Virginia last night? Incredible comeback, man. 19 down, 12 minutes left to go, and boom. They have found something special there. Taz Sherman broke out. Derek Culver, he is on the uprise now since Oscar Sheway's no longer. And his stock just goes up and up and up. And then also Miles McBride had a massive game last night in the second half. Thanks so much for the like, Ben. Appreciate it, bud. Morgan Basketball, welcome on the stream. We got Coy out here as well. He predicts Florida by 14. Vegas Jack, Behind the Arc fan. Welcome back, guys. Part of the Mod Squad once again. You got Ryan here as well. Vegas going to predict 78-69 Florida out in this one. They see NFL Hall of Fame finalists. Actually, I did not. I was out throughout like most of the day today. Yeah, let me know if you guys want to catch me up on that. Feel free to let me know. Sorry to hear about that, Browley, man. Keep your head up, brother. I'm sorry to hear that, dude. You're still young, man. Just keep your head up. Stay positive, brother, and hopefully things will be much better for you in the future. I hear you do that. I was there earlier in my life, too. It was really sad, but yeah, hopefully I can cheer you up tonight. Some really good games going on tonight. Ethan here, welcome on board. He's taking Florida as well, 82-78. Ant here, welcome on the stream, man. So good, should be a really good game between these two teams at the top of the SEC, 2-0. Colin Castleton breaking out here with no Keontae Johnson. Colin Castleton, the one that stepped up for the Florida Gators. He scored 21 points in the last game. In the last 2 games, he is averaging 22 points per game as he has scored 23 and 21 in the last 2 for Florida. Shooting the ball terrific, 18 for 23 from the floor by Colin Castleton, the former Michigan Wolverine, now playing for Florida. As for Florida, what they do well, shoot the basketball, make shots from the floor, and that's where they shoot the ball at almost 56% from the floor. Alabama, what they've done so well throughout conference play their first 2 games, defending inside. They stopped Tennessee from going inside. Tennessee was taking a lot of low percentage shots in the last game, and Alabama defensively came in a big way. So here we go. We're going to get tipped off for this one, guys. As it's going to go to Florida first. Florida in the blue jerseys. Orange numbers, orange letters. And Alabama going in the white uniforms with red numbers, red letters for this one. Florida has it. As they will start it off with a quick jumper. And that one goes down for 3 from the perimeter. So Gators, they can light it up fast. Top 45 offense, hit it down. Okay, yep. Heisman presentation trophy, yeah, that's on now as well. Kansas State still on national TV, yes. That game, it's not on ESPN2, thank goodness. They put it on ESPNU tonight, so right after this one's going to be Michigan State against Rutgers that I'll be covering. Alabama lost control of the possession, and that's going to be a turnover there by Josh Primo as he traveled with it. Ball goes back to Florida. 19-10 left to go. Gators second possession now. Anthony DeRuggi puts it out the right baseline. Scotty Lewis takes the jumper, hits it. That's good for 2. Great start so far here for the Gators. Back-to-back scores in their first 2 possessions. Yeah, I looked at the score right before I started streaming, Ryan. I'm shocked, man. I cannot believe that Dayton's not blowing out Fordham by like 20 at halftime. It's only like 27-24 at the half. Oscar, welcome on the stream here, bud. He's predicting a low-scoring game out in this one. Alabama, deep 3, lights it up, hits it at the top of the key for the Crimson Tide. 2-point game. Florida's starting 5 today. Noah Locke, Trey Mann, Scotty Lewis, Anthony DeRuggi, and Colin Castleton in this one. As Alabama gets the ball pinned out of bounds off of them at the baseline. It's going to be Florida basketball here with 18:33. What's good, Roger? Florida basketball at the right wing perimeter. Puts it out at the top of the key to Trey Mann. Mann dribbles as a pick set by Castleton. Moves it out to the free throw circle as they will go inside. Shot fake lock. Moves it back over to Castleton. Free throw circle. Castleton turnaround jumper. That one no good off the back rim. A rebound by Alabama by John Petty. There's 4 players in this Crimson Tide team that's currently averaging over 12 points per game. Alabama missed the layup and the key gets rebounded by Florida. 2 minutes through so far. 18 minutes left to go in the first half of basketball here. Scotty Lewis has a left baseline. Dribbles now inside the key. Moves it back out to the top of the key to Rougie. Shot fake. He dribbles. Spin move free throw circle. Puts it up, and that's up no good. Great contest right there by Herb Jones. Rebound Crimson Tide. Alabama now with the basketball as they're trailing by 2. They're going to take it into the lane. That's good for 2 with a layup. Jordan Bruner. Great get in the offseason. Grad transfer from Yale. Ties it up at 5. 17:30 left to go in this one in the first half. If you guys are new, spike the thumbs up. Hit that like, hit that sub. Ring that notification bell as well as I cover play-by-play basketball here in Behind the Arc Basketball. Great start here. Scotty Lewis drives into the lane. Pro hop. No good, but they get the offensive rebound and put it back up and in for 2. Florida up by 2 now. Alabama basketball. Left wing perimeter. And move it back to the top of the key. Herb Jones. Passes over right baseline. Josh Primo. Moves it back outside once again. Shot fake Alabama. Dribbles right past Scotty Lewis. Lays it up and in by Herb Jones. Tie game up at 7. Great start so far. Herb Jones is one of the 4 in this team that's entering this game averaging above 12 points per game. Here's Florida now with the ball. The ball is going to get tapped out of bounds by John Petty, Alabama. So Florida will get it back. 16:38 left to go. Yeah, if I had to predict this game for my predictions, I actually haven't let you guys know my predictions yet, but I predicted Alabama to take this one. I was impressed with Alabama in the last game. I think they're going to keep on rolling in this one. Tight game, though. 84-80 in these SEC games. I'm feeling the over in this one, so I'm going to take the over. The over-under was set at 151.5 here. I predict 81-80. 7-7 the score. Alabama just turned it over. Florida drives into the lane. Blocking fall. Picked up by the Crimson Tide. As Florida's going to go to the free throw line coming up, shoot 2. So let's see. Ryan puts out, I think, Peyton Manning, Calvin Johnson, Charles Woodson, all locks, and Ronnie Barber, Reggie Wayne are his maybes to make it to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, it doesn't shock me with any of those. I think all those are going to have a great chance for sure, definitely, to make it to the Hall of Fame. First free throw, Trey Mann, no good, missed it. Vegas should be able to make it into the Hall of Fame. Oh, yeah. Tony Parker's documentary releasing on January 6th called The Final Shot. Gonna watch that for sure. Definitely interesting there, man. That's over on Netflix. I'll have to see if I can catch that sometime. Second free throw, that's good. Florida knocks it down 1 for 2, that trip by Trey Mann. Alabama now with the basketball. Left baseline dribble, backs their way in there on Mann. Underneath, it's Herb Jones. Puts it up, no good. Gets his own offensive rebound, and he gets called for the push-off. So that's going to be Herb Jones here with a violation. Ball is going to go back over to Florida as we head to a timeout. First timeout of the game here. 15:55 left to go first half. Florida up by 1, 8-7. Alright, so great game to start it off so far between these two teams. Good matchup going down as far as this one. Top of the SEC for this type of battle. With both of these teams at 2-0. And they're trying to prove that they are worthy of being in the top 25. Oscar needs cheese, it looks like, for his pretzel there. He is looking for. I haven't had a pretzel in ages, man. Kansas State taking on Texas Tech. Texas Tech up in that game. That's over on ESPNU, so they put it on national TV, but not on the big network that they have on this one on ESPN2. That one's on ESPNU. Texas Tech leads it 6-5 over Kansas State. Clemson taking on North Carolina State, number 19 ranked Clemson leading 8-7. So those are the games that just tipped off this hour. Dayton Flyers resuming the second half in a tight game against Fordham. We'll keep you guys posted here. 31-27 with Jordy Shimunga with 13 rebounds for Dayton here. They're only up by 4 against Fordham. Oh, goodness. So glad I didn't bet on that game because I would have taken Dayton and the points. They were like an 11.5 point favorite, and legit, I thought that they could crush Fordham by like 25-30 at the least or so. Flyers did just hit a 3-point shot, so they put it to a 7-point lead now, 34-27 to score. Other games going on right now. Duquesne up on a roll against Davison, 7-zip. Kentucky leads against Vanderbilt early on, 6-4. So yeah, right now on the timeout, if you guys are new to the stream here, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well if you like to be notified about future play-by-play live streams. I cover NBA games as well, college basketball games here, and I'm glad to have you guys on board being a part of the stream. If anybody's new, hit me up in the chat who you got in this one. Type in Gators here if you're going for Florida. You can type in Crimson Tide if you're going out for Alabama in this game. Great matchup between these two teams. We'll keep you guys posted throughout the scores of college basketball all the way through tonight. After this one, great showdown. Number 15, Rutgers taking on number 23, Michigan State. Very good matchup going down there. Michigan State in trouble, 7-3, only 1-3 in the Big Ten, and they're going to take on a pretty solid Rutgers team that just wasn't able to close it out in both of their losses this season. They were up by double digits, blew it against Ohio State in the second half, and they were up throughout most of that game on Saturday against Iowa, and they couldn't put the finishing touches on that as Iowa was barely able to squeak it out. But Rutgers has an explosive starting five. They got a great starting lineup, and one of their key players, a top 50 recruit with Cliff Omarui, he is injured right now, so that's key when they get him back. That just adds more depth over to the roster. Charlie Ward, behind the arc fan, puts out actually a Heisman winner, but decided to play in the NBA because he would only play in the NFL if he was a first-round pick. Interesting, man. And he played 12 years in the NBA. So we're back into it. 8-7 to score. 15:40 left to go. Florida with the basketball. Drives inside. Floats it up. No good. Pinwheels around. Offensive rebound by the Gators. Puts it back out to Scotty Lewis. Bounce pass top of the key over to Noah Locke. Locke floats it up again. Missed it. Tipped around. And coming up with a rebound finally is Alabama here with John Petty. Petty pass up the court, gets intercepted right back by Florida. Alabama had a lot of turnover trouble in the last game against Tennessee. They got hot in the second half. That's how they were able to start pulling away. Florida jumper, no good. Rebound back to Alabama. Crimson Tide has it. Top of the key into the hands of Herb Jones. The player that set the tone in the last game was Javon Quinterly for Alabama in the second half. Pass inside over to James Rojas. He'll get fouled, and he's going to go shoot 2 at the line coming up for the Crimson Tide. 15:03 left to go first half. 2 free throws here by Alabama. Yeah, so I actually predicted the over on this one. Right now it looks like the under is certainly in play, because I keep on messing up the predictions, I guess. Yesterday I said definitely take the under in that game for West Virginia, and it went way over. First free throw, that's good. If you guys joined me for last night, that was, man, an incredible game. West Virginia with 12 minutes left to go, trailing by 19 points. They made a massive comeback, and they won against Oklahoma State on the road. Second free throw, no good. 15 minutes remain here first half. Florida gets the rebound. Gators going to dribble past the half-court logo. Trey Mann, as he is guarded here at the right wing by Shackelford. Pass over to Scotty Lewis at the top of the key. Lewis guarded by Rojas. Moves it over left corner. Into the hands of Appleby. Left baseline dribble. Now dribbles into the key. Appleby. He's going to hand this one off. Drives inside. Missed it. Got rejected by the rim. They're going to get the offensive rebound right back, though. Takes a 3 by Florida. Makes it. Trey Mann from the left wing knocks it down. Florida up by 3, 11-8. Welcome to the stream once again, Ross. Appreciate Bud for stopping by. He's going out for Alabama here. AK-16, welcome in. Duquesne looking good early. Shutting out Davison 5-zip. Oh, one of the best college basketball streams we have had in a while yesterday with that West Virginia game. Alabama drives inside. That's good for 2. Going down there by the Crimson Tide by Herb Jones. 14 minutes left to go. Florida with the basketball. Top of the key, Trey Mann. Moves it over to Scotty Lewis. Lewis spin move. drives inside, puts it up, and no good, too strong off the glass. Crimson Tide going to come up with a rebound. Rojas now moves it past half court. Keon Ellis has it back to the top of the key to Alex Reese. Alabama will set it up here. Herb Jones at the right wing. 13:40 left to go. Jones is guarded by DeRugi. Drives inside, gets two more. Herb Jones, 6 points so far. Back-to-back layups in the last two possessions for the Crimson Tide. 12-11 to score. We're going to take a timeout here. So Mike White takes a timeout for Florida. We'll be back after the timeout. 13:35 left to go first half. Good game so far. Right off the bat, both of these teams top of the SEC at 2-0. Great matchup going down here with these two teams trying to prove themselves. Florida, one spot away from the AP Top 25 at number 26. Alabama, I feel like, was put way too low, in my opinion. Coming off a win against number 7 ranked Tennessee on Saturday, they only received 2 votes. And the thing so far this year for the Crimson Tide is just a couple of games that they weren't able to squeak out late. That's the thing. Western Kentucky, that matchup could have gone either way. I feel like Western Kentucky is a sleeper this year and definitely deserves some attention too. But they need way more than 2 votes there, in my opinion, for Alabama. They got the same amount of votes as Indiana with 2 votes, and UConn, San Diego State had more votes than them on the poll for this week. As we get back to action, 12-11 to score, 13-23 left to go. Florida going to get the inbound. They're going to drive inside, and that's contact and a foul picked up by the Crimson Tide. So this is going to be Tyree Appleby going to the free throw line, shooting 2 coming up for the Gators. AK-16 took West Virginia at the half just to burn his last $5 of his account. Oh, man. You must have had a payday right there, bud. Vegas predicts that Alabama's going to lose this for this one. I'm actually going to take the Crimson Tide out in this game. This is going to be a good matchup. 12-12 to score. Yeah, Ross puts out hopefully with a few more wins, Alabama will be in the top 25. They get the schedule to move on the upswing coming up. They got a very impressive win against Providence as a Florida players down in the backcourt. Alabama driving inside, and number 1 for Florida, that's Trey Mann. That's their best player in the team, and he is down. Let's see what happened here. Happened in the backcourt. Oh, that's a big collision set up on the pick in the backcourt. It's number 3 for Alabama, Alex Reese. He just ran straight into him, and that's a major loss. Trey Mann slow to get up, and he's going to walk now towards the bench for Florida. That's good to see that he's walking on his own power right there. But we're going to see where it takes him. If he's going to just sit on the bench here, or if he's going to head over to the locker room. Because if Trey Mann goes out of this game, that's a major loss right there for the Gators. What's good, Vaughn? Welcome on the stream, bud. Hope all's going well today. We got 13-16 left to go. Hey, no problem, Vaughn. Enjoy your hockey draft today, man. Alabama goes inside, missed the layup. They get the offensive rebound, though. Swarmed all over the place by 3 blue jerseys in Florida, and the key going to come up with a steal with Omar Payne. Here goes the Gators now with the basketball. Scotty Lewis. As he pushes off, that's an offensive foul. Scotty Lewis is trying to drive inside. Good news to see. Number 1 for Florida, Trey Mann. He is on the bench, and he is checking back into the game. So that's good news for Gators fans right there, because he did not go to the locker room. He was slow to get up on a couple minutes ago, and he is heading right back into the game as he checks in again. It's going to be Alabama ball. 12:50 left to go first half. Crimson Tide now with the basketball, down by 1. So my prediction here, I took Alabama in this game to win it. Alabama drives, spin move inside, and that's going to be a whistle and a foul here picked up by Florida. Very tight game I took. I also took the over, which is really struggling right now, because these SEC games out of late have been like a lot of high offense, but there hasn't been like quick possessions today. They've used a lot, like a good chunk of the shot clock. So my prediction was 84-80, Alabama. Alabama going to get the inbound. Ball into the hands of John Petty. 12.5 left to go. Petty now dribbles, drives inside, and puts it up and in off the glass. That's good for 2. attacking the lane. Exactly what they did there in the second half, led by Quinterly against Tennessee. And they did it right there with John Petty. Florida has it, trailing by 1. Great game so far. Shot fake, Noah Locke. As he goes inside, that's going to be a reach and picked up by Alabama. Herb Jones picks up the foul. That was almost a clean strip, but couldn't get it. Second personal picked up by Herb Jones here. That's the 4th as a team by Florida so far. 4 personal fouls picked up as well by, 4 personal fouls picked up by Alabama. That's the 2nd by Herb Jones. 4 by Florida as well. Florida will get the inbounds. 12:10 left to go. Gators here to inbound. Trey Mann to pass it off underneath his hoop. And he moves it out left corner. Shot fake, Noah Locke drives inside, puts it up, no good. Too high off the rim, tipped around, and fight for the rebound. It goes all the way to the edge of the front court, and Florida gets the offensive rebounds. Gators will now set it up, new shot clock. At the right baseline, they dribble, pro hop, shuffles it out left corner. Shot fake into the hands of Osifo here, as he's going to move it back over to Noah Locke, takes the 3, and he drains it. Noah Locke with a triple for the Gators, and also Alabama with an inbound has the basketball stolen away. Florida looking for more to get it. Lays it up, and that's good for 2. Back-to-back buckets by Florida right there as Alabama just coughed it up on the inbounds. Welcome on the stream, guys. Chris Brown. We got 11:30 left to go first half. McKeel, welcome on board. Black Hollywood, welcome on the stream, bud. 11:20 left to go. Alabama, no good. Missed a shot. Rebound, Florida. Gators going to take it here past half court. Trey Mann dribbles now, drives inside, dish over to the right baseline to his teammate who lost it, and it goes out of bounds though off of Alex Reese at Alabama. So lucky there as he shuffled it out to Osai Osifo inside the key, lost it, but it was off the knee, out of bounds there of Alabama. Yeah, Peyton Pritchard was a beast, man, yesterday, dropping down 23. If he can put that together, like, consistent, that'd be insane, man. But I think that's just, like, a one type of flash game for him or so. I'd be shocked if he scores, like, 23 in, like, any of the other games throughout, like a month longer or so. We're going to go on a timeout here, folks, in this one. We got 11:11 left to go in the first half. Florida up by 4 against Alabama. What do I think about Miami this year? So yeah, the Miami Hurricanes for their basketball team right now, I thought in the preseason that they could make the tournament. They're just unfortunate here with the injury bug that they've hit this year with a ton of injuries. But I think they're going to be bubble, like all the way to Selection Sunday for Miami. I was thinking more that they make the tournament, but with the injuries that they've had, I feel like it's going to be tougher now for them. And yeah, they're winless in they're winless in ACC play, 4-4. But I think they got a good chance to possibly top off North Carolina. UNC in trouble right now. That's going to be a close game. Like either way, it's going to probably come down to like one possession. What's good, Salvador Chavez? Welcome in the stream, bud. Appreciate it for stopping on by. Wisconsin versus Rutgers on January 15th. Oh, man, so many good games out there. That is one thing for sure. If you guys are new in the stream here, spike the thumbs up. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I cover play-by-play basketball games and Behind Your Arc basketball. College games, also NBA games here as well. After this one, we got a doubleheader tonight, so one more game after this. It's a great one. Number 15 Rutgers taking on number 23 Michigan State. Should be a great game there between those two teams. As for the college basketball scoreboard updates, this is what it looks like right now in the SEC. Kentucky up against Vanderbilt 19-17. Duquesne leading Davidson 14-9. Clemson, NC State tied up at 20 even. How about this? Ouch. Kansas State leading number 18 Texas Tech 17-11. You heard that right, guys. Kansas State is winning with 9:10 left to go in the first half by 6 over Texas Tech right now. Other college basketball games currently, Dayton Flyers only leading by 5 against a pretty bad Fordham team, 39-34. So that's the score going on right now as far as college basketball scoreboard. Second look at it today. Ethan the Sports Kid, welcome on the stream here, bud. Glad to have you on board once again, man. Landon, welcome on the stream, man. Kentucky in the tie game right now against Vanderbilt in that one. Glad to have you out on the stream here, bud, when you get the chance. Yeah, I heard about that. So it's all in the Indianapolis bubble for March Madness that's taking place this year. So they're doing it at like multiple arenas. Alright, so we're going to get right back into this one. 18-14 to score. Yeah, so all those host sites they were supposed to have, like Dayton, Ohio for the first 4. I think Providence was supposed to host the first round, like they do like every 5 years or so. And it's just unfortunate because that's a big crusher to the economy where we're from, man. That Providence isn't able to host, and everything's in Indianapolis. So that's the only downfall for the cities that were supposed to host is that it's like a big boom to their economy. That's the thing. And now it's just all in the bubble at Indianapolis now. 11 minutes left to go. It's going to be Alabama basketball. Crimson Tide take it past the half-court logo. They have it here, top of the key. Dribbles at the right wing, hands it off over to James Rojas as he passes back outside over to Shackelford. Takes a corner 3, no good. They get the offensive rebound out. Bruner sets it back outside over to Primo. Takes a 3-point shot, no good off the top of the backboard. Able to get it back, though. Missed the layup, no good by Bruner. And there's a foul underneath as well. So Florida picks up the personal here. It's going to be their fifth personal foul of the first half. Clock will stop with 10:38 left to go. Should be going to the free throw line. Or is it going to be non-shooting? It's going to be non-shooting foul, so it's before the shooting motion. Bogey, welcome on the stream here, bud. Oh, yeah, it's going to be incredible, man. For the tournament, for sure. Inbound here to Alabama, and this time the Crimson Tide's going to get fouled, so that's going to be 2 free throws. Top 5 college teams. I got 2 that I basically root for will be Providence and URI. But being from New England, or from, like, I'm actually from Massachusetts. I would love to see UMass, like, make the tournament someday. I only saw it once in my lifetime. I'm too young to realize what they did in the 90s, unfortunately, since I'm only 25. But yeah, I've only seen them once in the tournament. That was when I was a senior in high school in 2014, and yeah, they get destroyed by Tennessee. But yeah, my 2 favorite teams, by the way, are Providence and URI. 3-point shot off the missed free throw by Alabama. That one is good. From downtown by Keon Ellis. It's a 1-point game. 10:20 left to go. Great matchup so far. Florida now with the basketball. Top of the key, Gators take the 3 straight away. Off the mark, no good. Rebound back to Alabama. Crimson Tide takes up the court with Josh Primo. Pass ahead of the pack here to Rojas. He has to corral the basketball to get it back as he adds into the key, working on one man, no good. Missed it off the backboard, tipped up in the air, offensive rebound, and a pack of blue jerseys goes to Jordan Bruner, and he puts it up and in for 2. Alabama by 1 now. Big get they got in the offseason here with Bruner from Yale, and he had a couple big games last year where he had double-doubles in. He had a triple-double, I believe, last year for Yale, and Alabama here got him for what he can do on the defensive side of the basketball, and that time he came in big time for the Crimson Tide. 9:30 left to go, Florida ball. They're going to float it up over the top. That's good for 2. Omar Payne cut to the basket, put it up and in off the backboard. Lead change. Crimson Tide has it, going to set it up. Top of the key, Bruner. Drives inside. Big jam as he had a clear cut of the lane right there to throw it down for the 2-handed flush by Jordan Bruner. Do I know how many teams going to get in? I think they're planning on doing 68 total for the teams to get in. So yeah, I think they're still planning on doing 68. So yeah, NCAA tournament, all of it's going to happen at Indianapolis now. Still planning on the full 68. And they're going to do, I think it's, 37 at-large bids now since the Ivy League dropped out. 21-20 to score. Florida will get the inbounds. They pass it over to the left baseline. Colin Castleton going to hand it off now to Trey Mann. Moves it back out on top to Ruggie. Backs his way, turnaround jumper, no good. Rolled around the rim and out, and rebound back to the Crimson Tide. Keon Ellis takes it past half court, moves it over to Rojas. Drives inside, and that's going to get knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Florida, so Alabama's going to get it back. Oh, wow. You got 20 people playing in John's Fantasy Hockey League, man. That's a ton of people. Wow. That must be quite the draft there, bud. So you're the 12th pick out of 20, it looks like. Oh, yeah, for sure. Can be an absolute beast when he plays for UMass. I wish I was like... Well, yeah, I was alive during that time, but I was just too small to remember it. Because I was born in 95. 8:35 left to go. 21-20 the score. Alabama now with the basketball as Florida missed the layup. They'll take a three from the perimeter. No good off the back iron. Florida comes up with the rebounds. Trey Mann with the basketball. So he takes it past half court. Mann at the left wing moves it back left corner. Into the hands of Noah Locke. Left baseline dribble. URI right now they're 5-5. Last season though they only had 9 losses last year. Pass over to Castleton into the key. That's good for 2. Yeah, they were on the bubble last year and probably wouldn't have made it in because they kept on losing like late in the year. Eight minutes left to go here before halftime. Alabama moves it around the perimeter. Ball is going to get deflected out of bounds as the clock will stop with 7:50. Yeah, 21-9. That was what their record was last year. It was 21-9 for URI. Yeah, Landon puts out Kentucky. Maybe can get Oscar Sheway, who has entered into the transfer portal. That is big news now. So he stepped away on Saturday from West Virginia, entering the transfer portal, and somebody gonna just get another big-time interior presence on their roster right in the front court. I've been hearing. I saw an article yesterday that it said possibly going to the Miami Hurricanes. Let's see, I'm going to see if there's any new updates here. It was 247 Sports that had predicted or put that out. I see a tweet here like around an hour ago. It says, let's see what we got. So right now we're just on the timeout, 22-20 to score. Good game so far with 7:50 left to go. So this looks like it's one of the writers from the Lexington Herald covering Kentucky basketball. And he posted on Twitter just less than an hour ago that Kentucky will be an option, it looks like, for Oscar Sheway. And yeah, he has now entered the NCAA transfer portal. So this is big as far as helping out a team with their interior presence for the rest of the season. Yeah, so 247 Sports reported that Miami's interested in adding Oscar Sheway. Because that would help out the Canes for sure. Miami's been just hit by injuries this year when they've had an upperclassman roster that I thought they'd be able to make it into the tournament for Miami. But right now winless in the ACC, but I think that game could go 50-50 against UNC. I think it's probably going to come down to the final possession there in that type of game. So they play each other tonight in less than a half an hour. That's desperation right there in that one. Scoreboard update as we take a look at it right now. Vanderbilt leading Kentucky 24-22 to score. Duquesne up against Davidson 24-14. North Carolina State leading Clemson 29-26. Clemson, a top 5 defense this season. Kansas State still beating Texas Tech 19-18, even though the gap's only down to 1. K-State leading by 1 point. Dayton Flyers taking on Fordham. Wow. If Fordham does shock the world there and comes up with a massive upset, you're making the payday on that. Wow. Dayton's winning by 2 against Fordham. This is how unpredictable this college basketball season is. I would have never told you guys that I would have never said that Fordham would stand a chance in that type of game. Like that's insane. I thought that Dayton would have crushed Fordham at like 25-30, and I cannot believe that the score's 43-41 in the second half right now. That's crazy. Isaiah Jackson coming off the bench right now, looks like, for Kentucky. Ivy League scared to play during the pandemic. Yeah, they were the first one to cancel, and everybody thought it was ridiculous when they canceled their conference tournaments, and then everybody followed, and then they just decided not to hold a season. And now Boston University, the center of attention for this week, with the first game was today, where both teams, they had a They had to make Holy Cross wear masks because they have a mask mandate over there at BU. Good old President Brown they got at the university. Getting your tuition, having you pay over 65 grand to go there. As we get back to action, 22-21 the score. NCAA ranking is only based on wins. It's other stuff too, as that's a big slam by Colin Castleton for Florida, jams it down. It's also based on like strength of schedule, what teams you beat, and things like that, because Drake has a record of 13-0, but they're not ranked because they've only played one power conference team so far, and it was the worst power conference team, Kansas State. Whereas like other teams like Illinois are still in the top 25 because they've lost 3 games, but they have played some really tough teams this year. What's good, Bill? Appreciate, man, for stopping on by. I'm doing pretty well, man. He's got Rutgers tonight, as well as Miami and Missouri. He passed this game, but he was leaning towards Alabama. I think all those I would have to go for you as well, man. Yeah, I predicted Alabama on this one. I think it's going to be a tight game. 84-80 was my prediction, but the offense hasn't really picked up as much. Alabama just turned it over. It's going to go back to Florida. But yeah, I'm taking Rutgers as well tonight. And I took the over to that matchup because I would take the over to that matchup because Michigan State has had a lot of problems like defending the outside, and Rutgers' offense is explosive. So I think Rutgers has a good chance to score like a good amount of points there. Timeout taken on the court. Alabama will take it with 6:40 left to go first half. That game against Miami, UNC, I was talking about that earlier. That could honestly go like either way tonight. I think it's going to come down to the final possession. Miami's played their opponents like really close so far this year. They've lost like a good amount of close games. And then Missouri as well. Taking on Mississippi State on the road. Yeah. I would take Missouri as well in that one. I'm shocked by like the games that's been like upsets going on like right now. Like North Carolina State up against Clemson, Dayton Flyers struggling with Fordham. Alright, so inbound coming up here. It's going to be Alabama basketball. .6:35 left to go. Alabama has it. Top of the key. Moves it over to the right wing to Ellis. Passes over right corner. Takes the 3. Hits it from the outside by Alex Reese. Yeah, totally agree with you, Ross. That was a problem the last game, too, was the turnovers with Tennessee. And once again today, they are struggling with turnovers once again. 6:18 left to go. Florida has it. Alabama going to pick up a personal foul around the perimeter. The clock will stop. That's going to be their 6th. So both these teams with 6 personal fouls right now. Who do I think is going to be able to win the ACC? Probably going to go right... probably going to go with Louisville right now to win the ACC. Because they're doing really well for the Cardinals. They just haven't played like a strong like ACC slate to start out so far. But they've got a great transfer with Charles Minland, and also they've yet to get back Malik Williams Malik Williams and Charles Minland. They've yet to get back. Carly Jones is the great transfer that they have. He's been the most impactful transfer this season. 24-24 to score. Alabama basketball as Florida had it around the perimeter, but got it knocked loose off of Florida. It's going to be Alabama basketball. 6 minutes left to go. Crimson Tide has it. Dribbles. Floats it up in the key. Missed off the mark. No good by Jerron Gary. Rebound back to Florida. Gators will take it past the half-court logo. Into the hands of Glover. He's going to look to pass it here. Moves it towards the left. Over to the freshman, Niles Lane, into the game for the first time today. Noah Locke has the basketball now. As Noah Locke's going to get bumped and fouled here around the perimeter. Alex Reese picks up the personal. And that's going to be Alabama's 7th. So that means Florida is going to go into the 1-1 bonus here at the free throw line. Tie game up at 24 even. 5:37 left to go. If you guys are new to the stream here, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that sub. Ring that notification bell as well. If you like what I do here, I cover college games, also NBA games. 1-1 free throw, no good at the line by Florida. Rebound back to Alabama. What's good, Ray? Appreciate Bud for stopping them by. He's got Florida out in this one. Looking for the cover in this game as Alabama's going to put it up. No good. Second chance, though. Tips it up and in off the backboard. That is good by the Crimson Tide. As they break the tie, they lead it by 2. 5:15 left to go first half. Florida has it. As they will make their move inside. Off the mark. Tipped up in the air. And coming up with another rebound is Juwan Gary here for Alabama. Alabama puts it back around the perimeter. Ball gets poked loose out of bounds. Last touch by the Gators. They were trying to go out for it and steal it around the far side, but couldn't get to it in time. So Alabama gets it back. 5 minutes so far. Great game with these two teams. Been really close. Spot up. Open three. Crimson Tide knock it down. Keon Ellis just left completely wide open there at the left wing. He is a perfect 2 for 2 from downtown. Florida down by 5 here. Gators dribble. Free throw circle, and they're going to lose the handle. Ball's on the ground, stolen away by Alabama. Here they go. Alabama drives. Going to move it back to the right wing. They're going to take an open 3. It's up, no good. Tipped around, fight for the rebound, and tumbles out of bounds. He had it. Lost it off of his fingertips was Alex Reese. He had that one and just lost control of it out of bounds by Alabama. So Florida will get this basketball back. But man, Keon Ellis with a big 3. That's the Crimson Tide's largest lead of the game, so they are up by 5. And that is the largest lead in general in this one. It's been a 5-point lead. Great game here. It's never got over the 2 possession mark so far. So Florida gets the inbound, 4:30 left to go. Ant puts out he's come back to the UK from Russia to do some press work. However, UK just went into a 3rd lockdown. I heard about that, man. Send my thoughts out to you, brother, there. Can't get back to Germany. Oh, jeez, bud. So sorry to hear that, man. And most of the flight's been suspended. Florida goes inside. Colin Castleton, good for 2, up and in off the glass. Approaching 4 minutes left to go. Crimson Tide basketball, and they lost control of it around the perimeter. 2-on-1 here for Florida as they get the steal. Floats it up. No good. Tipped up. And the ref's going to call a whistle a foul, as that's going to be a personal picked up by Alabama. 4 minutes left to go. Who do I think's going to win the SEC? I'm still going to stick with Tennessee right now. But that was disappointing, what I saw from them on Saturday. But they are much better than that for Tennessee. So timeout taken on the court, 29-26. Florida will go to the free throw line right after the timeout here in this one. Very good game going down between these two teams. The top of the SEC is going to be it's going to be a battle here for these teams right at the top. Tennessee, Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, LSU, right at the top. All going to be battling, winning that 35 range. Missouri as well. Yeah, 35 to probably 12 range or so. Jeez. Yeah, that's too bad, man. So sorry to hear that you're just stuck in the UK. It's crazy what's going on all over the country. These are just absolutely crazy times. Timeout taken on the floor. Vanderbilt has taken the lead over Kentucky. 32-29. Olivier Sarr in the first half. He's got 15 points. Clemson has fought their way back. They're down by 2 against NC State. 34-32. North Carolina State leads it. And Texas Tech has fought their way back. They lead it now over Kansas State. Not a shock there. They should be leading for the whole game. Instead, they've been trailing throughout most of it. 28-27. Texas Tech only up by 1 with 2:20 left to go against Kansas State. Other college basketball games right now in trouble. The Dayton Flyers losing to Fordham. That is just unfortunate. 50-47. If you picked Fordham on the line there for that game, just taking them as a flyer, thinking that you were going to lose money or so to bet on them, and you're just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to lose I'm going to lose some bucks here, but just why not spend it? You never know. And if you picked Fordham in this line, you're making a payday if they do end up closing out this game. Fordham leads it with 3:40 left to go, 50-48, the score in that one. So Fordham's defense, the story of last season, is that I think they had like a top 10 defense, but the offense was just could not get going. Like the offense was like I think like one of the worst offenses last year in scoring in college basketball too, and that was just the big trouble last year for them. Yeah, it's not looking good. Like they're only reporting it in a couple of states so far, but I think everybody out there knows that it's already in like in all the states. Like it's already out there. It's probably the strain's probably been out there like before Thanksgiving or so. 4 minutes left to go here, 29-26. Really just fingers crossed that we're going to have a March Madness tournament this year. Because just don't want to go through what happened last year, where things just got worse and worse and worse. And then leading up to it, the first week of March, it just went like boom. Like everything just, every single day, like every single minute and hour, there was like new updates when we got into March. First free throw, no good at the line by Florida. Second one, that one's good by Anthony DeRugi. 2-point game, 4 minutes even left to go, Alabama basketball. What's good, Ray? Appreciate it in the stream here. I actually took Alabama in this game. Very tight game between these two teams, though. Alabama going to get fouled, so they're going to go to the free throw line, shoot two. Honestly, this can go either way with these two teams. I took Alabama. My pick before the game was 84-80. That right now, I don't know if it's going to hit the over that much. Right now, they're not on pace for that. The possessions are going a lot longer than usual, too. Compared to yesterday's games, where I covered West Virginia yesterday's game, and they were just tearing it up in the final 12 minutes. First free throw, no good. Missed at the line by Alex Reese. Alabama now also in the bonus as Florida picked up their 7th, and second one by Reese is that's up, that's through. 30-27 now. Florida now with the basketball, 3:40 left remaining. Top of the key, Colin Castleton, as he is guarded at the top, moves over to the left wing into the hands of Trey Mann. He dribbles free throw circle, pass back outside over to DeRugi. Hands it off now to Locke. Locke turns the corner, stop and pop jumper, takes it, he makes it. That's good for 2 by Noah Locke. 1-point game, largest lead so far tonight. That's only been by a 5-point lead in this one by both of these teams. Alabama taking it into the lane, good for 2 with another layup. So Crimson Tide by 3. Florida going to have the basketball. Herb Jones, Jordan Bruner, both got 6, same as Keon Ellis as well for Alabama. For Florida, leading scorer right now with under 3 minutes left to go. That is Noah Locke. He's got himself 8 points. Left baseline dribble. Takes the jumper. That's off the mark by DeRugi, but that's going to get to be an Alabama foul picked up, it looks like. Wow, recent reports, it could say it lasts until mid-March. As they have more than, wow. Geez, 50,000 people out there in the UK. That's crazy. Man, sending my thoughts out to you guys, wherever you are out there. Yeah, hopefully you're able to get back to Germany, man. Fingers crossed that you're able to get a flight back there, bud. Behind the Arc fan predicts Florida in this one by 3. Very good game so far. Florida at the free throw line, 1-1 bonus. They missed the first one once again, so Alabama gets the rebounds. Shot fake. They're going to dribble now inside. At the right baseline for the Crimson Tide. Petty puts it out on top now. Into the hands of Shackelford. Moves it back over to John Petty Jr. Petty now dribbles. Spin move. Works his way inside. Kiss off the glass. That's good for 2. Nice move right there into the lane by John Petty Jr. He's got himself with 4. So Alabama holding their own right now. Javon Quinterly has yet to even play in this game, and he was a big tone setter in the second half. 2:10 left to go. He was a big tone setter in that victory against Tennessee back on Saturday, and he's yet to play here. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna check to see if on the timeout whether he's like not available in this game or what, because I was expecting him to play today. Florida drives into the lane. They gonna go pro hop here, and Alabama forces a tie up. And it's gonna be possession arrow Alabama. So Alabama gets a tie, possession hour, Alabama. What's good, Kevin? Appreciate bud for stopping them by. Wow, Pittsburgh 11.5-point underdog tomorrow against Syracuse. Doesn't appreciate that. I think they have the chance to possibly keep it much closer than that. Right there. Florida, no good. Drives inside, missed the layup. Offensive rebound, Colin Castleton. The right place, right time. That's good for 2. 3-point game, minute 35 left to go. Alabama has it at the top of the key. Shot fake Petty. Looking for more. Floats it up. No good. Air ball underneath, though. Is contested by Florida, but Alabama comes out with an offensive rebound, and Florida will pick up a personal foul underneath. So the clock will stop again with a minute and a half left to go. Yes, the Rutgers game is on TV, so I'll be covering the Rutgers game right after this one against Michigan State. That's on ESPN2. Yeah, that was uncalled for. Hopefully, he just doesn't come back to the stream, which, that's an automatic hide right there. Welcome in, Raven. Appreciate it for stopping by here. Once again, this game has been exciting so far. Been a good one. Largest lead's only been by 5 points. First free throw, good, by Alabama. At the free throw line, number 33, James Rojas, hits it. Heisman Trophy presentation going on right now. Ryan's hoping it's Devontae Smith that grabs it. Second free throw coming up here. Crimson Tide at the line, Rojas. And he sinks it. Alabama by 5 here, largest lead. UNC or Miami? I'm going to take Miami in that one. They're at home. I'm going to take Miami by like 1 point in that game. I think it's going to come down to like the final possession. I feel like Miami's been plagued with injuries, but they're winless in the conference. And both of these teams, that's going to be a desperation game tonight. Florida has it on the ground with the basketball, able to get it back. They move it around the perimeter. Right corner 3. Gators take it, hits the front rim, no good. And Alabama saves the basketball and comes up with a rebound. That was a great save right there at the left corner. Entry pass into the lane. Rojas has it, but it gets deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Gators. So Tyree Appleby last touched it at the baseline. It's going to be Alabama basketball. 51 and a half seconds left to go. Alabama has the chance to take the largest lead tonight. 36-31. 51 and a half left to go. What's good, Ian? Appreciate it, bud, for stopping by. Alabama looking good so far. Very tight game going on. Alabama gets the inbound. Catch and shoot 3 off the inbound. Gets it. Jaden Shackelford knocks it down, and that's the largest lead tonight. Shackelford now with 6. They can hit their outside shots. That's been key so far. Florida has it. Dribbles, floats it up at the left elbow, off the mark, no good. Florida getting cold as a late rebound, Alabama. Here goes the Crimson Tide, push up the court, watch out. Lob over the top, couldn't convert the alley-oop, though. That should have been 2 to put it to a 10-point game, but the pass behind John Petty and got intercepted off his back of his fingertips as Florida got the steal. Gators have it, looking for the final shot here. 15 seconds left to go before halftime. They're going to dribble now the basketball. At the edge of that Alabama logo, right past half court. Trey Mann with the ball as he is guarded at the top of the key by Ellis. Mann looking to pass it now. He's stuck. 4 seconds. Pass inside over to Castleton. Puts it up. Big block by Alabama, but the refs call in, and they're going to call a foul right there, and he was upset about that one. Alex Reese gets called with a personal foul, picks up his second, and that's going to send Florida with Colin Castleton to shoot 2 here with a second left to go at the free throw line. Oh, yeah, totally agree, Kevin. They only got 2 votes in the last poll. Definitely need more respect beating the number 7 team for sure, man. They put up 71 points against the number 2 defense that Tennessee came into that game allowing. I think it was around 53 points to their opponents to score, and they put up 71. And they get 2 votes, the same as Indiana. I like UConn. I think UConn's going to be in the top 25, but you're talking about probably a month from now, once they start taking out teams from the Big East. But, yeah, UConn, San Diego State, they got more votes than Alabama. Crimson Tide's played a tough schedule so far. Free throws at the line there for Florida as they went 1 for 2. Alabama full court shot, no good, as we go into halftime. What a game. I totally agree right there, Ross. I thought that was a clean block. Really a great start to this one here. It has lived up to its hype as we head it over into halftime. 39 Alabama, 32 Florida out in this game so far. Big key for the Crimson Tide. 3-point shots. 5 for 9 from the outside. And they are doing it with Keon Ellis off the bench. Six bench points, perfect 2 for 2 from the perimeter. Shackelford had a nice catch and shoot 3 to put it to the largest lead today, up by 7 right before half, or it was up by 8 before half, and then Florida got the free throw to make it to a 7-point game now. But and Alex Reese as well hit a big 3-point shot. Reese should have had that block, but Florida went to the free throw line with Castleton. Yeah, I predicted here for the over for this one, 84-80. I predicted Alabama. This game could get hot here in the second half as far as scoring. These SEC games are interesting to go for. Like I think a lot of these SEC games are offense, so I would definitely try to go for the over for a lot of these SEC games, especially if it involves LSU in it, because historically LSU and Auburn, those are the two teams. I would say like definitely take the over if they're involved in the matchups or so, because those two teams usually play in like tight games that go into the 80s quite a bit. And that's what I saw a week ago. Arkansas against Auburn in that game. There was points going down all over the place. Yeah, Alabama, great point there behind Eric Fan. Let's see, I'm going to dig into this right now. That's impressive. 11 offensive rebounds, and Jordan Bruner, he's been a big get in the offseason that Nate Oates got. Alabama most likely wouldn't have made it into the NCAA tournament last year because of their defense. What an improvement their defense has been from last year into this year. Last year they were giving up like 79 points per game to their opponents on average. This year they're giving up around 10 points on average, less around 69 per game for Alabama. And the big key here is Jordan Bruner. He's got himself 7 rebounds, 5 of those offensive rebounds for Jordan Bruner. And he was doing great stuff last year at Yale. Welcome on the stream here, Brady. Appreciate Bud for stopping them by. I'm going to cover Michigan State right after this, so if you want to stop them by for Michigan State Rutgers, Bud, feel free to do so. How do I feel about the Knicks? I'm shocked, man, about the Knicks. They're above 500, 7 games. They're 4-3, and they're putting themselves now in a position to do well. Just the big question will be whether it's sustainable throughout the season. So only 7 games through, we'll have to see if they can make it the full cumulative way there for the rest of the season. So I have to see the rest of the year to see how they do with like the final 65 or so. Devontae Smith getting the Heisman right there, repping Alabama. Heisman Trophy winner. Congrats out to him, man. Wow, Brooklyn Nets, as we take a look at the NBA right now at halftime, the Brooklyn Nets are killing the Jazz. 23-7 in the first quarter. Ouch. Kyrie Irving is double the amount of points that the Jazz have scored. Kyrie with 15 points in the first quarter, and the Utah Jazz only have 7 to score there. 23-7. Wow. As for college basketball games, Texas Tech in a tight one right now against Kansas State. 36-31 the score. Texas Tech only up by 5 against Kansas State. North Carolina State up at halftime against Clemson, 39-32. Duquesne up by 1 at the half, 26-25 against Davidson. And Vanderbilt up at halftime against Kentucky, 40-33 right now. Let's see, Dayton Flyers lost to Fordham. Oof. Oh my gosh. If anybody bet on Fordham for that one, you're making yourself a payday. Holy moly. Wow. Fordham has won 55-54 over Dayton. I cannot believe that. Like, how in the world does that happen? Yeah, Texas Tech only up by 5. Crazy. And Fordham has won. How in the world? How in the world does that happen? Let's see, I'm going to dig into Fordham's... So Fordham, this is their 3rd game. They lost to the bottom 2 teams in the A-10. They lost 71-47 against George Washington. And they lost at LaSalle in their last game, 89-52. They just lost to the Dayton Flyers today. Or they won against the Dayton Flyers today by 1. That's crazy. Crazy. I remember last year Fordham took URI into overtime in that game. So I guess I don't think Dayton prepared for that. They probably just didn't prepare. They were just like, yeah, we're just going to play basketball. We're not even going to go through a game plan. And that's probably what happened. It's crazy. Like, any given day, things can happen. Scottie Pippen Jr. for Vanderbilt behind the arc fan. Looking good. I heard he's been doing really well so far this year. That's good to hear. Ethan, what's good here, man? Yeah, I heard about the Heisman, bud. Glad to have you out on the stream here, brother. Devontae Smith taking the Heisman. Who's some of the college basketball players Ant puts out here to watch out for the NBA draft? I would go with, it's between Cade Cunningham at Oklahoma State and Jalen Suggs at Gonzaga. Those are probably going to be the 2 top college players that go like 1-2 in the draft, most likely. So yeah, yesterday I got to cover Cade Cunningham for Oklahoma State. Jalen Suggs, he looked like he could be a top 5 pick before the season, and now he's looking like he's going to either be 1 or 2. Because he's doing incredible things over at Gonzaga. Glad to have you in the stream once again, Ethan, man. Kevin puts out Jordan Addison going to be the 4th wide receiver to win the Heisman next year. So yeah, right after this one, I plan on covering Rutgers against Michigan State. That should be a good game as well. So let's see here. I'm interested to see what year the last wide receiver won the Heisman. 1991. Desmond Howard out of Michigan was the last one. So yeah, looks like Devontae Smith was the 4th. 1972, Johnny Rodgers from Nebraska. 1987, Tim Brown out of Notre Dame, and then Desmond Howard from Michigan in 1991 was the last one. So they waited all this time. 30 years was the last one. Yep, the under definitely hitting that Fordham game for sure. Both of those teams, yeah, they scored in the low 50s. 55-54. Crazy. Ethan thinks that Rutgers, he thinks will win, knock out Michigan State out of the top 25. I'm going to take Rutgers tonight in that one too. And Michigan State's had a lot of problems like guarding and defending the perimeter. They got lit up against Northwestern a couple weeks ago. I'm taking Rutgers here 82-77. Unless something just entirely comes together here, which Michigan State's starting to finally figure out who they got for the point guard there. Hoggard is been huge for the team coming up as far as last few games or so for AJ Hoggard, just coming out of nowhere and being potentially like the next like big ball handler now for the team, because that was the concern going into the season, was replacing Cassius Winston. They're trying to figure that out as the season goes on or so. That Rocket Watts is more of the shooting guard type. Foster Lawyer isn't really like somebody who's been able to take the steps up or so, and just hasn't been able to be the answer. So it could be AJ Hoggard here, the freshman, that he's able to get us. He was also able to get a start, but yeah, he played the most minutes in the last game, 24 minutes, most minutes he's played this year, and he dished out a career high 5 assists. So I think they might have found their point guard here if they stick with AJ Hoggard tonight. Ethan thinks Alabama wins here, makes the top 25. Yeah, I think they just got, like, no respect from the top 25 poll from this week. They got 2 votes. That was it. 2 votes. Yeah, for me being a Providence fan, I I want to see Alabama do well for the rest of the season because Providence lost very early on their schedule in the Maui Invitational against Alabama. So that would help out Providence the rest of the year if they can get as many wins as possible to help them out. And yeah, last year I think it was Rhode Island was the one that was the crusher for Alabama last year when Alabama went on the road against URI, lost that game. That was probably the loss that determined that Alabama would probably be out of the tournament. But right now, they're looking good for the Crimson Tide for this year. Let's see. So I'm looking at the receiving votes so far. We've got 30 people on the chat. If you guys are new, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. I'd like to be notified about future play-by-play live streams here. Right now at halftime. Let's see. So other teams receiving votes here above Alabama. Well, Indiana was tied with 2 votes. Boise State, who is like low-key a sleeper for Boise State. They only have 1 loss. It was against Houston very early on back in November. But Boise State is good. And I think they can run the table in the Mountain West, even though for some reason San Diego State is ranked ahead of them, which that's going to be huge to see San Diego State versus Boise State there, because San Diego State received 1 more vote ahead of Boise State, but both of those teams in general received more both of those teams in general received more votes than Alabama, and same as LSU when they lost to Florida. UConn, which UConn's only played 5 games. I think they're going to be in the top 25 at some point this season. They're a deep team, but right now's like not the time for UConn since they've only played 5 games. They haven't proved it enough. And yeah, they were higher than Alabama. Xavier, UCLA, Seton Hall, which had a rough start at 1-3, and they've completely changed it around. They are dangerous now. Arkansas, Oklahoma, which lost by 22 to Xavier, which somehow received 10 more votes than Xavier. I don't get that. Xavier also received more votes than Alabama. NC State, same thing with them. Drake, which is understandable. I get that with Drake. They're 13-0. BYU, this is the one I don't get. Colorado. Colorado get crushed against Arizona. And then Colorado was able to win their game against USC last week. But still, I feel like the Pac-12 here is just way too overrated as far as who they got for Colorado receiving votes. Arizona but they only got 1 loss. And then Oklahoma State, Northwestern, Ohio State, Louisville, Florida. Yeah, I feel like Alabama should be way up there with Louisville. I thought Louisville would be in the top 25 before St. Louis. Yeah, Clemson losing at halftime against NC State. So crazy here. So NC State, if they win that one, that boosts St. Louis's stock, because St. Louis beat North Carolina State, and St. Louis got they out-rebounded them by like 20 rebounds or so in that game. But yeah, North Carolina State up against Clemson, 41-34. So the ACC is just, oh man, the ACC around like the top tier teams here or so in the top half. This is tough to get. Like it's like a seesaw going on with the ACC up there. Clemson lost to Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech's been a massive shock so far this year. Clemson's got a top 5 defense. They're having a lot of trouble right now in this one against NC State. And yeah, NC State low-key 6-1. Only loss against St. Louis too. And they lost, I think, by double digits. Dana has a good recruiting class next year. This year's ended, he puts out. Yeah. At-large bid, not looking good right now for the Dayton Flyers. Going to have to win the automatic bid and beat St. Louis, it looks like, in the A-10 tournament to get there. Because the loss against Fordham, which is, I don't know where Fordham is in the net. The net rankings came out yesterday. Those net rankings, I don't really pay attention to the first couple weeks or so, because they put Colgate at number 16, which makes no sense. They're 1-1. They split a series over in the weekend. Right now it's Kevin Keats who is head coach at North Carolina State. We're going to start off the second half here, folks, in just a moment. Glad to have you guys on board in the stream. John Victor, welcome on board, man. Long time no see. Glad to have you on the channel here, bud. Yeah, I'm interested to see where like Fordham is in those net rankings. Probably definitely in the 300s. Yeah, they're third to last. Fordham is 339 out of 342 in the net rankings. That's a big oof. Ouch. Oh man. The worst teams in the net rankings are as follows: Mississippi Valley State, Chicago State, South Carolina State, and Fordham. Those are the worst 4 teams in the net rankings. As here we go, right back into action here in this one, into the second half. If you guys are new, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that sub. Appreciate all for stopping by here tonight on Behind the Arc Basketball, second here in this one. So we started off Florida with the basketball, going to drive inside, and that is good for a quick 2 for the Gators. 5-point game, 19:30 left to go. Alabama first possession now out of the second half. Herb Jones has the top of the key, moves it over to the right wing. They will now dribble. Shackelford floats it up, no good off the back rim. Ball goes back to Florida here. Gators have it at the left wing perimeter. Bounce pass left baseline. Castleton backs his way on Jones, puts it up, and gutted the fall. That's good for 2. So they weren't attacking inside early on with Colin Castleton. He was the key in the last game to get the victory over LSU. And he is averaging 22 through the last 2 games, filling in for Keontae Johnson, it looks like, for the rest of the season. That was a big bucket there by Castleton. 18:50 left to go. Alabama moves it out left corner. Crimson Tide with the basketball. Shackelford takes the jumper. Off the mark, no good. Florida comes up with a rebound. Scotty Lewis takes it now past half court for the Gators. As he has it at the left wing, puts the ball at the top of the key here to Trey Mann. Mann now dribbles. Swings it over, right baseline, shoots the 3, and Florida hits it by Anthony DeRougie. Tie game here up at 39. Timeout taken in the first minute and a half by Nate Oates. So Florida, straight up start here. Right on a big run to start it off here with a 7-0 run right out of the gate to tie it up at 39. Timeout taken here in the court. Miami up, or North Carolina up 5-zip here. We'll take a look. So yeah, we got more games going on right now. Iowa State leading Texas 10-8. So these are the games currently beginning. And yep, Miami. Yeah, Miami trailing now 7-2. So UNC up by 5, 7-2 so far. The latest score in that one. Vanderbilt up against Kentucky 44-40. Nets still looking good against the Jazz 37-21. Brooklyn Lakers versus Grizzlies just tipped off, and Anthony Davis already a bucket as he's got 2 points and also a rebound in the first minute. So it's part of a 7-zip run here by the Gators to start out second half right now. Alright, so I was interested in knowing, like, Javon Quinterly is yet to check into this game. This is the reason why before the game here. It looks like he has been rolled out today for this game by Javon Quinterly. Just going to dig in a little bit deeper here into this one. This according to Tuscaloosa News. So, oh, ouch. This is a bet. Oh, man. I did not know this until I didn't see him check into the game. So this coming in right before the game. Javon Quinterly, he's going to miss tonight's game and possibly the game on Saturday against Auburn as well. And that's, according to this post by TuscaloosaNews.com, it's due to a medical condition. So, of course, sending my thoughts out to Javon Quinterly. He has been huge down the stretch here, past couple of games for Alabama. A transfer from Villanova. He was a great tone setter in that second half against Tennessee. That's a big loss there. That's a big loss, but Alabama able to hold their own tonight with him right now, or without him in this game. Yeah, that's not good for Kentucky, man, if they're losing against Vanderbilt. Yeah, 45-40. Vanderbilt winning. Scottie Pippen Jr., 10.6 rebounds, 6 assists. Vanderbilt has players in their team. They can score for Vanderbilt. The problem is, like, usually been their defense for the Commodores, and they usually play Kentucky close. Yeah, I heard about that behind New York fans. So KD out for at least 7 days now. I heard he has to miss, like, the next 4 games. So that's a big oof. Yep, Jack puts out being a Tennessee guy, just wants both of those teams to lose. So yeah, Vanderbilt up against Kentucky 45-40 now. So we'll keep you guys posted with that score. Oof. Ryan just made this video about the Dayton Flyers game. It's a must loss. Pathetic loss. Oh yeah, absolutely pathetic, man. Let's see. Taking a look at the history. I want to see Dayton Flyers basketball head-to-head. I'm going to look it up for you guys because I'm interested. And I want to see the last time they lost to Fordham. I'm interested. All-time, the Dayton Flyers 32-5 all-time in 37 meetings against Fordham. As we're back to action here, 39 even, 18-20 left to go. I'll get you guys that in a second. Alabama left baseline dribble. No good, but they get the offensive rebound, and they put it back up and good. Right under there for 2 by Herb Jones. Crimson Tide breaks the tie out of the timeout. Gators basketball. 18 minutes left remaining. If you guys are new in the stream, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Feel free to join me back after this game for a good one. The Rutgers against Michigan State to close it out tonight. Tomorrow night, I'll be back. Celtics versus Heat. Left baseline dribble. Scottie Lewis puts it up, hit the front rim, no good. Rebound Alabama. Crimson Tide now with the basketball. As they're going to space it out. Dribbles. Drives into the lane. No good. Too strong off the glass. Fight for the rebound on the ground. Florida comes up with it. Scottie Lewis takes it past half court here at the right wing. As he is guarded by Petty. Moves it out to the right corner. Locke takes the 3. No good. Alabama comes up with a rebound. But there's a personal picked up here. As the clock will stop with 17:30. It's going to be a rebounding foul. Picked up by Alabama. So that's going to be... It's going to be Alabama or Florida here. It was late on it. That should be... Okay, it's going to be Florida. So it's going to be Florida foul here picked up. It's on Scottie Lewis. So Scottie Lewis picks up his 3rd personal. It's going to be Alabama basketball. 17.5 left to go. Crimson Tide has it. Takes it past half court now. Herb Jones, as he is guarded at the left wing. Moves it back over to the top here to Petty. As he passes over to the right wing. Drives inside for Alabama. That's good for 2 with a left hand by Shackelford. Back to a 2-possession Crimson Tide lead. Jaden Shackelford. He's got 8 points tonight. Gators now with the basketball back. They'll take it past half court. Tyree Appleby dribbles. At the right elbow. Bounce past top of the key over to the other transfer. DeRougie missed the 3 off the mark. No good. Rebound back to Alabama. Crimson Tide ball, 16:50 left to go. Let me know in the chat who you got in this one if you guys are new. Taking Florida, taking Alabama. Hit me up with that in the chat. 3 ball from the left wing. Alabama off the mark, no good. Rebound Florida. Here goes the Gators past half court. They're going to move it outside. Lewis off the pass by DeRougie. Scottie Lewis bounce pass into the key over to Castleton. Castleton moves it out, left corner to left wing. Back over to the top to Trey Mann. Drives inside, dish underneath to Castleton. Puts it up with some space. That's good for 2 off the glass. 2-point game right now, 43-41 and a good one. Alabama has the basketball. At the top, Petty drives inside, puts it up, and that's going to be good right there. John Petty Jr. count the bucket and the foul as he's going to head over to the free throw line and shoot 1. Alabama getting the most out of their opportunities, taking it into the lane, driving to the basket with layups in this game. And that is a big one right there. So going to the free throw line, shooting the and 1. As this will be John Petty Jr. Russ liking Alabama to win a close one out in this one. I think this one's going to be close as well, bud. That free throw is good by Petty. 46-41 the score, approaching 16 minutes left to go. Florida now with the basketball. They slow it down. Trey Mann has it at the left wing. Mann dribbles, almost lost the dribble there, dribbles left baseline. Mann moves it over. Castleton into the key, backs his way, puts it up. Too high off the glass, no good. Alabama comes up with a rebound. Keon Ellis dribbles past half court here. Ellis at the right wing, moves it out, top of the key, hands it off to Ellis, takes the three, got it. Straight away, that is good. Knocking down the triple there. And that's Alabama as he hits it by Keon Ellis. 49-41 with 15 and a half left to go. Florida basketball driving inside, and that's going to get tapped out of bounds. Clock will stop with 15:33 left to go, and we're going to go on a timeout taken here. Brandy, welcome onto the stream here. Appreciate it for stopping on by. Very good game going on right now. North Carolina up by 2 in that one. Does Miami still have key players out? I believe so for Miami. So yeah, I think they still have key players out. I've yet to cover Miami this year, but yeah, the injury bugs hit them a ton with their basketball team. Yeah, they're without... Okay, so I just looked to see. Miami's without one of their top scorers, Chris Likes. And he's a senior, too. That's the point guard for the team for Miami. So that's a major loss right there. But that's... it. If Chris Likes had played in that game, UNC would get shredded right there. Because UNC's backcourt, they are young and they're struggling this year. They have a lot of trouble guarding the three, and they have a lot of trouble shooting the three for UNC. And they are lucky that Chris Likes is not playing today for the Hurricanes. But either way, right now, Miami's in that game. They're holding their own. I know it just started, but still, it's that's a positive sign for Miami in that one. I didn't know which player, but that's a significant injury there. Yeah, Minnesota versus Michigan. So many good games as far as games coming up here. North Carolina State leading Clemson now, 47-44 to score there with 12 minutes left to go. Yes, Lakers are playing right now. Lakers up against the Grizzlies 10-5. And Nets destroying the Jazz in the NBA tonight 50-27. Kyrie with 20 points. Kyrie almost having as many points as the Utah Jazz tonight. Ouch. And there's still like 6.5 minutes left to go before halftime. As for college games here, Vanderbilt up by 2 against Kentucky. This could be another Kentucky game that goes down the stretch. Could require extra time into it as well. 47-45, Vanderbilt with 14:23 left to go, leading by 2. This game, we have 15.5 left to go here on the timeout. Alabama leading it by 8, 49-41. Iowa State up against Texas. After the great victory by Texas over Kansas, 16-14, Iowa State leads it with 11:30 left to go. Low-scoring game there. Texas Tech breaking loose up against Kansas State, 55-41 now. So Texas Tech able to get started here, 19-10 run to start off the second half. Alabama able to break loose, shooting threes and knocking them down. 6 for 12 from the perimeter, attacking the lane. A plus as well in that today for Alabama, doing a great job driving inside. And multiple players here producing for the Crimson Tide. Leading scorer off the bench, too. It's Keon Ellis. He's got himself 9 points for Alabama. And then 8 points in the starting 5 by Shackelford and also Herb Jones. As for Florida, leading the way, Colin Castleton. If Florida wants a chance here, got to get into the post of this big fella because he's had 2 really good games, back-to-back games against Vanderbilt and LSU, averaging 22 through those 2. He's got himself 13 here, and starting to get to work here in the second half with him. So 49-41 to score. Castleton's been able to up it here in the second half. We've got 15-17 left to go, 6 in the shot clock. It's going to be Florida basketball coming up in the inbound right underneath. Gators about to get the inbounds. It's going to be Trey Mann, the inbound passer. Thanks so much, Ant, for stopping on by, bud. And enjoy the rest of your night, man. Florida gets the inbound immediately. Alabama going to pick up another foul. Clock will stop with 15-17 here. It's going to be their second personal. That's away from the basketball. So 2 personal fouls second half by Alabama, 2 by Florida. Florida now with another inbound. They get it. Trey Mann dribbles. Free throw circle. Bounce pass inside over to Castleton. Backs his way. Underneath, he's double team. Puts it up. Big block by the Crimson Tide out of bounds. Coming up with that swat there, John Petty right in the key. NFL Nation, welcome to the stream there, bud. He's going out Alabama in this one. A lot of great college games tonight. After this, I'll be covering Rutgers against Michigan State. We'll take probably like a 5-minute break, and then we'll go into that game after I set it up, or so right after this one. Florida has the basketball off the inbound. Alabama, by the way, 4 blocks in this game today. Florida takes the 3, no good off the mark, rebounds back to the Crimson Tide. Alabama has it, takes it inside, that's good for 2. Attacking, and Jaden Shackelford once again does that. And this is the largest lead of the game. First time that this game has gone to double digits. 14:40 left to go. Tyus, welcome on the stream, bud. He's going out for the Crimson Tide as well. Alabama looking for back-to-back W's here for impressive victories in the SEC. One on Saturday against Tennessee, looking for another great W here against Florida. And they get another rebound for the Crimson Tide. Florida going stone cold as of late. 12-2 run. Alabama left baseline dribble. They back their way. Spin move, and Florida picks up the reach-in. Third team foul of the second half here by Florida. That one picked up by Noah Locke. Clock will stop with 14:14 left to go. So Alabama now trying to make this 4 in a row. Coming out impressive once they start out conference play. Crushing Ole Miss. Statement win on Saturday against Tennessee. Alabama takes the 3, no good. Tipped up, and rebounding fall on the offensive ends. So offensive rebounding fall there by Alabama. It's going to go back to Florida. Yeah, so if Alabama wins this, it'd be 3 straight in the conference, and that'll be their 4th in a row, dating back to the East Tennessee game that they won. The only loss before that one, the Western Kentucky game that they had. They played tight games. Their last 2 losses tight. It looks, yeah. Clemson and Western Kentucky, when healthy, Western Kentucky is a really good team. Alabama going to come up with a steal, drives inside, and they're going to get fouled. So 2 free throws coming up with 13:57 left to go. If you guys are new to the stream here, I cover basketball games, college games, also NBA games for play-by-play. Spike the like if you'd like to join me back for future live streams. Ring that notification bell as well if you like to be a part here. And glad to have you guys on board. And thanks so much for stopping them by. Are they close to being ranked? They received votes, but they only received 2 votes. They got put at number 45 in receiving votes. So that's shocking to me. They just beat the number 17 team in Tennessee on Saturday, and they received the same amount of votes as Indiana with 2 votes. And the whole pack of teams there was above them, like Xavier, Seton Hall, UConn, Colorado was up there above them. Arizona, they received more votes than Alabama did this week. I know Alabama's 3 losses, but you look at who those losses were against. Clemson. And then also they lost by 2 against a really good Western Kentucky team. I think a lot of people sleeping on them. And also early on against Stanford. Stanford played great basketball back in Maui, but that's so early in the season. 53-41 the score, 13:44 left to go. I guess nobody cares about their double-digit win against Providence, because Providence would have forced overtime against Creighton on Saturday. And yeah, it's unfortunate. So 13:44 left to go here. Timeout taken on the floor. It's going to be taken by Mike White for Florida. They're down to 2 timeouts left to go. Alabama down to 2 timeouts as well here. So we'll take a timeout. Dayton Clowns basketball talk as we get a name change out here. What is good? Big oof for the Dayton Clowns today. Good reminder here. The Dayton Flyers, before that game against Fordham today, the Dayton Flyers, I'm going to tally this up for you guys. Their last loss against Fordham was all the way back on January 6th. No, 2006. It was January 4th of 2006. So we're talking about 15 years was the last time that the Flyers lost to Fordham. Ouch. So let's see, just trying to tally this up here. That's 17 straight games. So before today's matchup, the Dayton Flyers won 17 straight games against Fordham until their loss today. 13:30 left to go. Florida scores up and in off the glass right there by Tyree Appleby. 10-point game once again. Alabama has it at the top of the key with Petty. Alabama doing a great job taking it to the basket in this one, attacking the lanes. Keon Ellis, pass over right baseline into the hands of Rojas. He backs his way into the post. Rojas puts it up and he scores. Counts the bucket in the foul. James Rojas here, proving to be a big-time player in this one today for the Crimson Tide. Rojas now, he's got himself with 8 points off the bench. Alabama's bench looking good. 9 points by Ellis, 8 now by Rojas. He's going to see if he can make his ninth here at the free throw line. He's 4 for 8 today, though, with the charity stripe. So Rojas shooting the and one, and he hits it. Able to get the bounce of the rim right there. Hit the front rim, but able to sail right back into the net. So James Rojas looking good in this game and having an impact. We'll see if he can hit a season high this year. He had 11 against Furman. It's Florida basketball. 13 minutes left to go. Gators on the ground with the basketball here. Alabama slides in with Rojas, and he's going to force the tie-up, and it's going to be Alabama ball. James Rojas as well. Hustle play right there, right in the key. Able to force the tie-up, and they got fans in the stands here. In limited capacity at Alabama, but the fans loving that one. At least they got fans in the stands out here. That's the plus. I wish in my state they allowed fans in the stands. Yeah, in my state they have players wearing masks on the court. They had the first college game today that had both teams wearing masks on the court for college basketball. So, yeah, now you guys know where I'm from. By the way, 12:45 left to go, 56-43 to score. Top of the key. Rojas bounce pass at the right wing. It's Bruner who's going to hand it off now. Around the perimeter to Petty. Petty will take the three, and he hits it. Alabama got red hot in the second half against Tennessee, and John Petty sinks that one down off the pick there as he has got himself 10 points, his first triple of the game. He can take over games. They've more for this season. They've shared the basketball between the top 4 scorers for Alabama, getting everybody involved. But John Petty last year, he can prove to you that he can take over games. Florida here struggling as they are having a lot of problems shooting from the floor, but needed that one. Step back 3 by Trey Mann as he sinks it. 59-46, part of a 16-5 run here by Alabama. Pass inside to Rojas, too good. Behind the defense, puts it up and in for an easy 2 off the glass. This game picking up right now, 11:50 left to go. Florida basketball down by 15, and they're going to take a timeout. Mike White takes a timeout, only 1 timeout left to go here in this one for Florida here. Alabama looking good, things heating up. Just like the second half, able to break loose against Tennessee. They got it out in this game right now. John Petty Jr., big way, part of a 22-13 second half scoring advantage in part of Alabama. 35 plus people watching now. If you guys are new to the stream, spike that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell as well. If you'd like to be notified about future play-by-play live streams here, I cover college basketball games, NBA games here as well. Right after this one, if you guys will be interested, feel free to join me back for Michigan State versus Rutgers. Should be a good game. I'll be covering that one to wrap up for the final game tonight. And tomorrow night, it's going to be Celtics versus Heat at 7:30. If Baylor against Oklahoma, if that game is close in the second half, I'll go live for that one. If that game is close at halftime, but if it's not, I'm just going to cover Celtics versus Heat. But yeah, things heating up here for the Crimson Tide. Jaden Shackelford, 12 points. John Petty with 10 points. And Petty looking good in this game. Setting the tone, attacking into the lane. They've made quite a bit of layups in this game. As well as a key player here off the bench in double figures. So he has got himself tied for the season high right now. And should definitely be able to get his season high here before this is over. And that would be off the bench here for Alabama. That would be James Rojas, number 33. He came into this game averaging around like 4 points per game. Today he scored 11, which has been huge, along with 6 rebounds. And Alabama doing great stuff on the boards tonight. Without Keontae Johnson, Florida been struggling in this game. 33-25, plus 8 on the glass for Alabama. Alabama out rebounding on the offensive boards, 12-10, plus 2 in their favor as well. And Florida here, Colin Castleton with 13, but I feel like he's going to need a whole lot more looks in the post for Florida here. He can't do it himself, though. Trey Mann, he's the one. He's got to be more aggressive for Florida if they want to get back. He took a step-back three a couple moments ago. He made it. But Trey Mann has had some big games this year. He came into this game as the leading scorer, averaging around 15 per game for the Gators. But today he's only been held to 6 points per game. And a big thing, he hasn't taken enough shots. That's the thing. Scoreboard update for college basketball. Vanderbilt, Kentucky. That game is tied up at 57 apiece. Texas leading Iowa State 22-19. Miami taking on UNC right now. The score now on 15-14. Yep, Miami took the lead. They're up by 1. And that game is a low-scoring game with less than 8 minutes left to go. It's only 15-14 in the first half there. Other games for college basketball. Davidson leading Duquesne 48-40. North Carolina State up against Clemson, trying to pull off the upset. 7 minutes remaining there, 55-50. And Texas Tech finally starting to pull away over Kansas State, 63-48. So those are some of the scores going down right now at the moment. We'll keep you guys posted tonight, especially Kentucky versus Vanderbilt as far as that one down the home stretch. 8:14 left to go. Tie game up at 57. Indeed. So 61-46 over here. Oh, yeah, for sure, Ross. Petty, streaky shooter, but when he's hot, he can dominate. And he got on quite a bit of games last year where he just took over games. Timo, welcome on the stream here. They got, let's see here. They got 46 right now. So 61-46 the score. So we welcome you guys in here. So 61-46, 11:40 left to go. Florida gets the rebound at the corner. They dribble now, bounce pass inside underneath, and they turn it over. Alabama here with the basketball. 11:30 remaining. Off the steal for the Crimson Tide. Pass out on top as they'll take a three straight away. No good off the mark. Rebound Gators. Trey Mann will have it as he takes it past half court. 11:20 left to go. Florida moves it out top of the key. Tyree Appleby. He dribbles free throw circle, drives inside with the right hand, puts it up, no good, couldn't get to the fall, tipped around. Appleby, offensive rebound, that's good. Up and on, off the glass, good for 2. 61-48 the score, 11 minutes left to go. Alabama now with the ball. Pass over to Rojas, looking for more, there's contact, and that will be a foul, and that's going to be a personal picked up offensive foul by Alabama. By James Rojas. So Florida will get this basketball back. 10:54 left to go. Four fouls picked up in the second half by Alabama, 5 by Florida. So it's not bad as far as foul trouble. Nothing that we were dealing with like last night. If you guys saw West Virginia against Oklahoma State, there were fouls all over the place. That was a long game yesterday. Florida has it, top of the key. They dribble. Glover here at the top as he is guarded. As the pick gets set, Glover now drives inside and missed the layup, no good. He had a clear lane to the bucket. Alabama comes up with the rebounds. Here they go, one man to beat with a Euro step, drives inside. That's good for 2. Keon Ellis, good finish right there for the Crimson Tide, and he's in double figures now with 11. That was a costly mistake right there by Quays Glover. It should have been a Florida bucket. Another missed layup. Florida attacking their best that they can do in the lane. They just can't get anything to stick. Alabama drives inside, and they're going to go to the free throw line shoot too. Florida personal foul picked up by Anthony DeRugi here. It's going to be 2 free throws coming up by the Crimson Tide by Jaden Shackelford. 10:10 left to go. So welcome in everybody out on the stream. If you guys are new here, spike that thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Happy 2021 out to you guys, as this year already the 5th day of 2021. Incredible right now. Brooklyn Nets up against the Utah Jazz. Score in that game 63-44 at halftime. So we got 10:10 left to go, second half. Welcome to the stream, Antonius. First free throw here by Alabama. Shackelford hits it. This was a close game, especially in the first half, until Alabama cut loose with about a minute remaining or so. And then Florida actually had a great start. They got on a 7-zip run in the first minute and a half here of the second half, tied it up at 39. And then after this, Alabama just attacking the bucket, making layups, hitting down three-point shots, and Florida just not been able to get anything to stick, even though they've been attacking into the lane. Second free throw, good at the line by Shackelford. Florida has the basketball. Alabama, perfect 6 for 6 at the charity stripe in the second half, looking good there. Florida has it at the left wing. Need to hit some threes if they want to get back into this one. Gators turn the corner, pass over to the right corner. They take a three, and that hits the rim short. No good. Noah Locke gets the offensive rebound. Pass back left corner. Scotty Lewis has it, but away from the basketball, there's an Alabama foul. Clock will stop with 9:49 left to go. Alabama picks up their 5th personal. That one's going to be on number 3 for the Crimson Tide, Alex Reese. This game's just got out of control. This is reminding me of last night, except there is less time remaining. Last night, West Virginia down by 19. Tonight, Florida finds itself down by the largest deficit tonight, down by 18. Bounce pass off the cut. Castleton puts it up. No good. It gets blocked by Alabama. Castleton, swarmed by defenders, able to get the basketball back. Tiptoes down the baseline. Moves it back to the top of the key. Pass out to the right wing. Right baseline dribble. Bounce pass left corner. Scotty Lewis drives. Moves it back and to nobody. It got tipped out of bounds though. So lucky that pass got deflected out of bounds by Alabama. It's gonna stay Florida basketball. And the clock stops with 9:33. 4 seconds left to go on the shot clock here for Florida. They're gonna get the inbound in their front court. Yeah, Alabama coming on strong. Last 4 or 5 minutes, really tearing it up. Florida gets the inbounds. Pass underneath to Castleton. He catches it underneath, and the ball gets wedged. In between the backboard and the rim right there. It's a wedgie. And it's going to be Florida basketball. 9:30 left to go. So, sorry to hear that, Vegas. So, his principal making us turn our cameras on next week. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, man. Yeah, my sister's back to her remote teaching for a music class, so she's doing the Google Meet this week with her students, back for remote, and then next week they're back to hybrid. 65-47 to score. Florida takes the 3, and they hit one. That was much needed for the Gators. Actually, they say it's a deep 2. His foot was on the line, so 65-50. 15-point game. Alabama, 3-point shot, no good. As they're able to save the basketball. That's an offensive rebound. Gucci Bunny, appreciate you here for stopping them by. Alabama takes into lane, drives inside. Shot's going to get blocked out of bounds by Florida. And that's going to be 9 minutes left to go. So 9 minutes even remaining here, and Alabama looking good. Florida looked like they would take it here as they started out strong in the second half in a 7-zip run. Alabama powers their way inside. Couldn't finish, though. Too strong by Herb Jones. Rebound back to the Gators. Florida has the top of the key, Trey Mann. As he will dribble at the left wing perimeter. He is guarded by Jones. Mann, deep 3 from the outside. Hits it. They're going to need a ton of those. That's exactly what I was saying about 10 minutes ago. Trey Mann, he's only taken, today in this game for Trey Mann, he's taken 7 shots now, but he needs to be way more aggressive. DeRugia has taken 11. He needs to be the one, the go-to one in this game for the Gators if they want to make a comeback. 12-point game, 8:20 left to go. I covered a big comeback last night. We'll see if anything has in store for tonight here. Alabama drives into the lane. Florida going to pick up another personal foul. And that's going to be number 7 of the second half. So 8:20 left to go. Alabama now in the bonus. 1-and-1 free throw bonus. And they're a perfect 6 for 6 here at the charity stripe in half number 2. Alright, so Herb Jones coming up here shooting 1-and-1 at the free throw line. Inside the bonus for Alabama. First one good. He got it. Alabama cooking here second half at the line. And Florida struggling in this game at the free throw line. 5 for 10 tonight. Alabama's 11 for 15 now. Second free throw, got it. Make it 12 for 16. 14-point Crimson Tide lead. 8:20 left to go. Alabama with 2 timeouts left. Florida with 1 timeout remaining as well. Herb Jones will check out of the game here for the Crimson Tide. Florida now with the basketball off the inbounds. Into the game for Herb Jones. Josh Primo now as he guards the perimeter. Florida has it at the left wing as they will dribble. Inside, looking to pass it. Ball's almost stolen. It is stripped in the key, and Alabama gets the strip there off of Colin Castleton with a fall picked up as well, and Castleton with a reach-in. So, stoppage in time now. 7:57 left to go here, folks, in this one. Crimson Tide looking good. Holding on to a 14-point lead. We'll be back after the timeout. Alright, second half. Crunch time coming in this game. Alabama's cut loose here in the second half. As we take a look, scores going on. We'll take a look at the NBA first before we get into college. Brooklyn Nets up at halftime against the Utah Jazz, 63-44. Kyrie's got 22 points. Basically half of what the Jazz have as a team. Only scored 44 in the first half. Nets crushing the Jazz tonight. Lakers up by 1 against the Grizzlies, 27-26. College basketball scores here. Vanderbilt, Kentucky in a tie game, even at 64 apiece. 5 minutes remaining there. Great game between those two teams. Looking like Kentucky could possibly play another overtime game to see if they survive out in that one. Texas up against Iowa State, 31-25. The number 4 ranked team now in the nation, looking so good for the Texas Longhorns. Tighter game than usual right now against Iowa State, but Iowa State played Baylor close. Texas Tech in a tighter game than usual against Kansas State. Kansas State hanging in there. They will not let Texas Tech close the door in on them. 65-58. Texas Tech leading with 6 minutes left to go. We'll keep you guys posted of that game as well there, as Kansas State has made this one a game. North Carolina State shocking here. NC State with 4 minutes left, leading Clemson by 6. 59-53, defensive battle going on that one at Clemson's court. Davison leading Duquesne 49-40 in the A-10, less than 4 minutes left to go there. Another defensive battle going down in that game. And as far as other games going on in progress, Miami up against UNC 23-20 without their best player on the team here. Out of this game due to injury for the Hurricanes for Miami, as that is their starting point guard, Chris Likes, and they're still up by 3. Welcome in, Warren. Appreciate Bud for stopping on by. Breaking news: after a disgraceful loss today against Fordham, the Dayton Flyers have disbanded. They will remain in Dayton and keep the same players, but now they are the Dayton Clowns. Yep. Oh, man. Ouch. That's as bad as it gets. When you hit rock bottom, you hit rock bottom. And, yeah, Kansas State can tell you about that. It's just so unpredictable this season. Crazy. I would have never imagined in a million years the Dayton Flyers to lose against Fordham this year. Especially after looking at the box score of the first 2 games. Like, that's embarrassing. I don't know how many people actually bet on that game. But, if I took a guess right there, a lot of people probably would have been losing out on their cash today with that one, and there's going to be very few rare winners out there. And if you won that bet, if you're the random winner out on that bet, oh boy, you're making yourself a payday if you actually took Fordham and had the guts to do that. Because, man, wow. 67-53 the score. 14-point game as we are back into this one. It's going to be Alabama coming up at the free throw line. Welcome in, Jacob. Lakers right now trailing by 3 against the Grizzlies, 33-30. Still, it's around like 7.5 left to go, second quarter. So still a lot of game left to be played. First free throw, Alabama hits it. They are perfect in the second half at the free throw line. Second one coming up by the Crimson Tide. And hits that one down. So Alabama up by 16. Less than 8 minutes left to go. Gators need a lot of threes, and Keon Ellis has reached his career high tonight. So no Javon Quinterly. No problem for Alabama. Bounce pass over to Scotty Lewis. He needs to start showing something. No good. Big rebound right there by the Crimson Tide by Herb Jones. As he passes up the court, ball gets deflected, but lucky there. Right place, right time. Into the hands pass half court to Shackelford. Moves it back to the left corner. Primo takes the 3 off the mark. No good. Rebound Gators. Scotty Lewis has it. Moves it over to Trey Mann. Trey Mann needs to get his team back into the game, being aggressive and hit some threes. Left baseline dribble. Moves it back over to Scotty Lewis. He was open. He should have took that 3. Instead, they're going to take a right corner 3. Open there, and they missed it with Noah Locke. Rebound Alabama. Here goes the Crimson Tide. Drives into the lane. Nice bucket right there for 2. Gets it up and in off the backboard. Gets fouled from behind as well. And they got some big-time scores on this team for Alabama. They had 4 players enter this game, averaging 12 per game. And when you got players like this that can score the ball and attack into the lane, and Keon Ellis, he has been a player that stepped up today and done it in a big way. Colin Castleton picks up the personal foul, and Alabama's cut loose out of this one, 71-53. The and one at the line coming up by Ellis. 15 points, 8 rebounds. What a game he has had. Hits it. 16. He makes it here. Off the bench. Alabama bench points tonight looking great in this game, as they've got themselves 32 total bench points. Career high for Ellis now with 16. Rojas got a season high with 11. 7 minutes left to go. Down by 19. Florida with the ball. Turnaround jumper. They take it. They make it at the right elbow. Good for 2 by Trey Mann. 72-55. If you guys are new to the stream here, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that sub. As Ryan made his Dayton Clowns basketball talk video and introducing the new team named the Clowns, it looks like, after the loss to Fordham. Alabama drives inside, but Florida with a big block right there underneath. Here goes the Gators. Moves it out right corner. Catch and shoot 3. They take it. They make it. That's some urgency right there by Florida. And they're going to definitely need that. They're down by 14 for the remaining stage of this game. Alabama has it. 6:20 left to go. Yeah, mine too. I predicted Alabama as a 4-point winner, but we'll see if this game gets closer here. I covered West Virginia last night, and Alabama, though, they keep on scoring. That one is good. Into the lane for 2 for the Crimson Tide. Jaden Shackelford gets it. 6 minutes left to go. Shackelford now with 16. They got multiple players once again in this game going off in double figures. They got themselves 5 players here tonight for Alabama so far in double figures. 5:57 left to go in this one, folks. Florida had it around the perimeter, but lost control of it. Ball went out of bounds. They turned it over. So it's going to go back over to Alabama here. Alabama playing some clean basketball here in the second half. Not a whole lot of turnovers for them here in the second half compared to the first. 6 minutes left to go. They just keep on getting better and better. Nate Oates' offense, it is connecting here with his high-flying tier. They put up 71 against the number 2 defense in the nation on Saturday, Tennessee. Pass behind the back, got a little bit too fancy, and that's a turnover. So just jinxed Alabama. They got turnover here. They haven't turned it over much in the second half. Leads to a Florida open 3. They take it. They make it at the left corner. Back-to-back corner 3s by the Gators. Puts it back to 13. 5:20 left to go. Yeah, same with me, Ross. Really shocked about Alabama in this game. I had them by single digits, up by 13. Crimson Tide gonna drive inside, and they get bumped and fouled. And now into the double bonus. That is the 10th personal here for Florida in the second half. So Alabama now in the double bonus. Man, I think you got to go back to some of the teams that Alabama played to prepare them for this game. They played against Western Kentucky, and it's very odd. Western Kentucky lost against Charlotte on Sunday. On a Saturday. They won against Charlotte, though, on the day before New Year's Day. And those games are tough. The games that they have in some of the conferences, like the Conference USA, the Patriot League, the Mountain West, where they play back-to-backs against each other, 2 games in 2 separate days. That's really tough because the other team can adjust to that. So I feel like that doesn't justify what it usually does each and every season, what Western Kentucky is. 3-point shot, no good by Scotty Lewis. Rebound by Alabama, 5 minutes left to go. Yeah, it's very odd playing those like back-to-back games, whereas Colgate in the first game, they could tell you they beat, I think it was Army by like almost 50, and then in the second game, the next day, Army came back and beat Colgate in the second day. So it's very odd. Those adjustments definitely happen in back-to-back days. Alabama gonna drive inside. That's good for 2 off the pro hop. 77-61. Herb Jones now with 13. Gators have it top of the key. They're dribbling way too much around the perimeter. They need just urgency here and for catch-and-shoot firing 3s, and they can't get it. Turnover Florida, going the other way here. Alabama with the basketball. Crimson Tide has it, the left wing, Herb Jones. If you guys are new, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Let me know in the chat who you got in this one, if you're taking Alabama, if you're an Alabama fan, or if you're taking Florida in this one. Alabama goes inside. That's good for 2. Man, this offense is cut loose here. Attacking, going to the bucket each and every time. That was a nice feed right in the post. 18-point Crimson Tide lead. 4 minutes left to go. Florida, 3-point shot off the mark. No good. Rebound by the Crimson Tide. Rebound number 7 tonight by James Rojas. Takes into the lane as that's a big block right there out of bounds by Scotty Lewis. Massive swat there. It's going to be Crimson Tide basketball. Clock will stop with 3:46 left. Yeah, definitely agree right there, Ross. Playing in Maui for Alabama, that helped out a ton. So, Alabama here, helping out Providence tonight, looking good in this one. Alabama crushed Providence early on, and I think PC is going to be a bubble team. Probably going to make it into the first 4, most likely. But man, what a statement game by the Crimson Tide here. They look to improve to 8-3 and 3-0 on the season if they can hold this thing together here for the final. 3:47 left to go. So we are on a timeout in this one. Scoreboard update. We'll update you guys the scoreboard update here. But after tonight, Alabama could be so barring any miracle finish here, Alabama will improve to 3-0. And after tonight, Alabama might be the only team that's undefeated in the conference. South Carolina, we've yet to base it off of South Carolina, though, is they've yet to play a conference game so far. They've only played 4 games this season for South Carolina. But this is what the SEC stacks up like. Auburn at the bottom at 0-2. Vanderbilt, Ole Miss, Georgia all at 0-1 in conference play. Then a bunch of teams tied at 1-1. Arkansas, Tennessee, Missouri, LSU, Texas A&M, Mississippi State. And then these 2 teams are 2-0. Kentucky is 1-0. As we take a look at that score right now, Kentucky taking on Vanderbilt. And it could be overtime once again for Kentucky, honestly. 1:19 left to go in that game. 72-72 is the score. Olivier Sarr with 24 points for Kentucky. Scottie Pippen Jr., 16 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists for Vanderbilt. That game is tied up at 72 even with 1:19 left to go. Other games going on now, college basketball. Texas up at the half against Iowa State, 37-27. And North Carolina State final 1:05. They're up against Clemson, 62-59. Davison able to get the W today, 61-48 over Duquesne. Texas Tech looking like they're going to get the W over Kansas State, 75-62. Was Bama just playing with their minds pretty this season, Brian puts out. I think this team just keeps on clicking, like getting better and better. As far as their transition offense, it looks good. As far as this team, their offense was like slower to start off, and now I feel like the offense is clicking. And this team was 3rd last year in points per game, and once again they got 79 points, and we still got less than 4 minutes left to go. They're gonna hit the 80+ mark today, and I think their offense here is on the upswing to be like a top 10 offense towards season's end. Right now, it wasn't showing it in non-conference play. They scored 71 against Tennessee on Saturday, but that was the most points that Tennessee had given up this season by far. And it was against supposedly a number 2 defense in Tennessee, holding opponents to about 54 points per game in that one. And Alabama scored 71 on them. So everybody making contributions. Yeah, so Alabama, so they'll lead the SEC at 3-0 if they win. So both of these teams at the top of the SEC at 2-0, and then Kentucky is 1-0. Rank Alabama, definitely agree there, man. Should definitely have way more than 2 receiving votes this week. As we're back to action. Alabama, good there as they score, 81-61. 3.5 left to go. Florida with the basketball, and they get the ball stolen away in the key. It goes right back over to Alabama. Alabama jives inside. Florida going to get the steal here once again. Gators going to the bucket. Tyree Appleby, that's good for 2. 18-point game now, 3:10 left to go. Alabama pass up the court, wide open 3. Spot up, takes it. Off the mark, no good though by Jaden Shackelford. Rebound back to the Gators. 3 minutes left remaining. Gators floated up mid-range. Off the front rim, no good. They lost control of it out of bounds, too. Trey Mann couldn't grab it in time. Out of bounds to the baseline. Alabama ball with 2:59 left to go. Kentucky can join the Dayton Clowns in the Clown League. Ryan puts out there for Dayton Clowns basketball talk. Yeah, if you guys didn't hear, Dayton Flyers lost to Fordham today. First loss in the last 18 attempts for Fordham. on their 18th 18th try. Fordham got the W. So before that, entering into the game, Dayton had won 17 straight over Fordham. Beat down in the process. Man, I'm shocked about this one right now. I thought it'd be a much tighter game than this. I predicted Alabama 84-80, but man, Florida, this offense today, a lot has to be said about this Alabama defense. A lot needs to be said here. This defense last year, it cost them from most likely missing the tournament last year if there was one. Oh, yep. Thanks so much for the update there. Appreciate it. Yeah, 81-63 the score. We got 2:58 left to go. Last year's defense gave up around 79 points per game. This season's defense giving around 10 points less per game. And just incredible what they're doing to a top 50 offense with Florida that entered this game today, averaging about like 81 per game or so, holding them to 63. Hey, what's good, Tristan? Appreciate it, man, for stopping on by. Glad to have you on the stream once again. My day's going pretty well. After this one, feel free to join me back. We're going to cover Michigan State versus Rutgers. Really good game for that one coming up. So 81-63, 2:50 left remaining. Alabama has it at the top of the key. And they're slowing it down as well. 2:40 left to go for the Crimson Tide. Herb Jones with the basketball. Dribbles towards his left, just taking clock off now. Shot clock down to 8. Ball into the lane off the pass, though, gets deflected, stolen away by Florida. Gators now with a steal, transition, slam. They jam it down for 2 by Osifo. 81-65, 2:20 left to go. Alabama takes it past half court. They'll let that shot clock go down again. Moves it back to the left corner. Thanks so much, Tristan. Appreciate it, bud, for stopping them by here, man. So, yeah, Alabama started out with quite a bit of turnovers, but in this, like, most of this portion of this second half, looking clean basketball. That's a three-point shot. Just leave them open, and Herb Jones does the damage. He hits it. 84 on the board for the Crimson Tide. 2 minutes left to go. Florida, spin move. Scotty Lewis has the ball pickpocketed away from him. Alabama with a steal, 3-on-2. Up in transition here, so they're going to pass it back outside. They'll set up the offense, take some clock off. Ball now into the hands of Petty around the perimeter. Florida not looking to pick up the fall either. Minute 35 left to go. Spin move. Going to try to finish there. That's going to be a goaltend. And that is more points on the board for James Rojas tonight, as he has got himself 15. That's a season high. 86-65 as Florida commits the goaltend with a minute 34 left to go. Scoreboard update, by the way, with Kentucky taking on Vanderbilt. Kentucky leads at 5 seconds left to go, 77-74. That's the score. So we'll keep you guys posted. We'll keep you guys posted with a final there once it hits. Minute 34 left to go in this one. A lot of great games tonight. Yeah, Kansas playing TCU in the late game too. Later tonight on the road. So ton of late games ton of good games going on tonight. Next up after this one, Rutgers taking on Michigan State. I'm going to take like a 5-minute break, and then I'll be back for the second stream tonight. Florida has the basketball as they are trailing by 21, and the clock will stop when the minute 21. Alabama picks up a foul. That's their 6th. Kentucky survives, looks like. Thanks so much for the update, Kevin. 77-74 over Vanderbilt. Olivier Sarr finishes with 24 points. Scottie Pippen Jr. for the Commodores, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, but Kentucky, second victory in a row. Gucci Bunny, welcome on the stream. Alabama looking so impressive. They're going to get their 4th straight win in a row. And their last 2 losses have only been by a combined 8 total points. Against Western Kentucky by 2 in a back-and-forth matchup, and also by 6 against Clemson. 1 minute left to play. This offense is cooking here, and this defense, it has turned around this team this season. Alabama picks up the fall from behind, and Florida here going to go to the free throw line. Clock will stop with 1:02. Davion Mintz hitting the 3-point shot for Kentucky to take the W there. 47 seconds left. What's good, Jason? Appreciate it, man, for stopping on by. Oh, I heard Kentucky big W, man. 2 in a row for them now. First free throw, good at the line. That was a great game. I heard about it. This game was good until Alabama just broke loose out in the second half out in this one. First one good, second one by Florida, no good, missed it. Rebound Alabama, final minute remaining. Crimson Tide now with the basketball. Kendall Wall has to basically get the reserves now into this one. Moves over to Delaney Hurd here for Alabama at the top of the key. 45 seconds left to go. Passes left baseline. Ambrose Hilton moves it back right corner. No good, missed the three. Did not think they would pull out the reserves in this late of a game. For Florida, this is disappointing here for the Gators. They're going to drop to 5-2 with a 20-point around that mark for a road loss in this game, but I thought it'd be all closer than that. Alabama missed the three. It was a rebounding foul by the Crimson Tide, and now Florida's in the bonus. Yeah, 3-6 feels like 7-2 right now. Still got the full season ahead there. Definitely gonna see if there can be just keep it going. They've been able to hit threes, which has been huge. They're showing the three. Yup, Mintz from the left corner, and he won it with 48 seconds left. It was a big three. And yeah, that 3-point shot by Vanderbilt was short. And just, oh, that was a crusher. The last one was off the rim and no good. It hit the bottom, went to the back, and just off the rim. Mr. Anonymous, welcome to the stream here. He racked in $672 on this one. Big payday for him, it looks like. Alabama spin move drive into the lane, and they turn it over with the final 30 seconds. Yeah, North Carolina, tight game against Miami. That game I feel like is going to come down to one possession tonight. 25 seconds left to go. Florida has it. I'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes from now. Michigan State versus Rutgers for the second game. So before I go, spike the thumbs up, hit that like, hit that sub, ring that notification bell as well. As Florida takes the three, they drain it straight away, top of the key. Goes down, but in this game tonight, the damage has been done. The Alabama Crimson Tide putting together a resume builder here over the number 26 team in the nation, according to AP Top 25 poll receiving votes, was just outside the top 25 this week. And Alabama, once again, their encore act, putting on a statement out in this one as they get another W. Fourth in a row as this offense cooking up at the right time, put up 86 on the board tonight. And this defense, low-key good as well, holding Florida, a team that was averaging about 81 per game, to 10 points below their season average. So that's a wrap out on this one, everybody. I'm going to be back in 5 minutes, folks, for Rutgers versus Michigan State. Feel free to join me there. Before you go, spike the thumbs up, hit that notification bell if you'd like to be coming back for future live streams here as well. And thanks so much, guys, for stopping on by, everybody, for being a part here on Behind the Arc Basketball. I'll catch you guys in the next one coming up here. Before we sign off, thank you guys so much to my members here. Jack, Jason, the sports expert, my 3 members out on the channel, everybody. Gonna be signing off. 5 minutes from now, we'll set it up. We'll be back. Join in progress in Michigan State versus Rutgers, everyone. As this is Behind the Arc Basketball. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday night.